Ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, the December 18th regular meeting of the village council of Forest Park will come to order. This is our Monday, December 18th, 2020. We begin our meetings with the pledge of allegiance. Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Maxim. Here. Commissioner Nero.
Here.
Commissioner Ballard-Govan. Here. Commissioner Vogt. Here. Mayor Hoskins.
Here. Okay, first item is approval of the minutes from the November 27th regular meeting of the council. Is there a motion to approve minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second? Thank you. It's been seconded by Commissioner Ballard-Govan. Discussion. Okay, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim. Aye. Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Ballard-Govan. Aye. Commissioner Vogt. Aye. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, we're at public comment.
Yes. Dan Riley.
Evening. Can you please contact whoever owns the lot at Roosevelt Road and Marengo on the northwest corner? There is an abandoned car, no plates, no hood lid, no trunk lid, no wheels, no tires, sitting on the frame and sitting on the ground. Very common that raccoons, possums, rats are nesting underneath there. It is a very common, have been living there for many years. It's very common that when I'm on the street late night, early morning, coming home from work, that I see animals that are coming out of a fenced property, which belongs to one of the bars, and they just go up under there and they stay under there. Had the occasion about maybe a week ago, where a rat probably as big as my feet, and I wear 12 shoe size, came running out, looked at me like, you better get out of here. So will you please contact whomever owns that lot to have that abandoned car removed? Also, there's where people have dumped pumpkins and or other trash there, which is just feeding the rats. Again, will you please do what you have to do to get that area cleaned up? I really would appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Riley.
Will Carpenter.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. I'm here to just speak in towards a presentation that Jordan is going to be giving in just a few minutes here. What it has to do is the safety of children on our street, mainly, you know. So I live on Lathrop, and I live directly across on Roosevelt and Lathrop. So you have that shopping center where people come down Lathrop a lot. A lot of people use it to cut over, you know, whenever the light turns red, a lot of people use it to cut over to displays. And sometimes they disregard the stop sign right there. They'll speed right through, you know, and as you know, the population of the village is skewing a lot younger. Whenever we moved there were 3 houses that had small children, and now there's 11 on that block. So there have been 2 times where me and my son have almost been hit by people, you know, speeding down there. Speeding down Lathrop. There have been 2 accidents causing, I think, $27,000 worth of damage. One of the drivers did not stop to report the accident, so there was a hit and run. There are people that, you know, regularly disregard the school bus that stops there at Lathrop and
Fillmore.
thank you, Fillmore. And so, and I've even seen residents get into confrontations with people about this. So, that's the last thing that, I want to see. So yeah, I just, I'm urging you to put in some measures there, be it speed bumps, anything, dividers, anything that will help slow people down, and stop people, speeding, down Lathrop. So I don't know, I don't know if they're giving away money in a parking lot somewhere or something, but it's just constant. And, I'm tired of looking out. I'm tired of almost getting killed. So I appreciate it. Thanks.
Steve Backman.
My name is Stephen Beck, 329. The clown show ends tonight. I'm assuming this council will approve agenda items 7 and 8, the two non-conforming homes built at 7713 Wilcox and 838 Circle. This is the crowning achievement to one man's incompetence that if you don't approve them, to lawsuits. In the private sector, building director Steve Blanky screw up would have likely got him fired, but here in Forest Park, it appears he'll stay on the job and be awarded the addition of a paid consultant to make sure he doesn't screw up again, all at taxpayers' expense. During the November 20th Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, Director Blinking discusses changes to the zoning laws that were at hand. I'm seriously afraid his target will be the 50-foot lot with minimum law that he sadly overlooked, leading to tonight's messes. That perfectly crafted zoning law, wisely created by his predecessors, provides a needed checkpoint to sensibly regulate what can and cannot be built on smaller lots, all in the best interests of the citizens of Forest Park, not builders, not developers. This is not some arcane or antiquated rule, but a needed law put on the books less than 15 years ago, specifically to avoid the two problem homes we have here tonight. Houses that are too big and too close to the neighbors next door. And now these grand monuments to incompetence are with us forever. I'm not convinced that we're out of the woods yet. I'm concerned there will be a clown show 2, the sequel. The property known as 836 Circle, the 25-foot wide lot just north of the illegal house at 838 Circle, has been publicly marketed for sale as a buildable lot. It is not a buildable lot. That said, a case can be made to build on it and present it to the Planning and Zoning Commission for variances away from the prevailing zoning requirements, but it must be a responsible plan and submitted before any construction begins. One might say, okay, what's the worry? Well, the owners of 836 Circle may also want to build a house that is too big. Mr. Beckman, you're going to need to wind it down. You've exceeded 3 minutes. Thank you. Too big and too wide. And then point to the house next door and say, hey, they got to do it. I want what they got. Thank you. Oh, incidentally, the house on 838 Circle, 2.5 side, and ADA requires 36. Thank you, Mr. Beckman. Okay, is there any other comment?
No, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, there are no formal communications before us, and I don't believe reports were submitted or bills by resolution.
Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Forest Park, Cook County, Illinois, that we dispense with the reading of the individual bills, inasmuch as each department head has approved and signed bills in the following aggregate amount for their respective departments. Refunds and allocations, $5,821.69. Public Affairs, $37,621.40. Police Department, $1,258.43. Community Center, $246.34. Council Finance Clerk's Office, $29,399.11. Council Finance Fire Department, $5,511.82. Department of Health and Safety, $23,091.90. Streets and Public Improvements, $101,039.02. Public Property, $32,954.04. Seizure, $1,464.16. Federal Customs, $11,266.11. TIP, $11,125.60. VIP, $462,040.60. Water Department, $352,032.62, for a total of $1,074,872.84.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, is there a motion to adopt the resolution on the bills?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second?
Nero second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rogova. Aye. Commissioner Vogt. Aye. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-110-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, there are no unfinished business in front of us tonight. So moving down to the business, the first item is a presentation by Mr. Jordan Q, Chair of our Safety and Traffic Commission.
Thank you, Mayor Hoskins. I'm Jordan Keaton, the Chair of the Commission. I'd like to thank the rest of the council commissioners and Village Administrator Entler and Chiefs Gross and Gibetta. Have been very helpful throughout. I think the last time I came to present to you all was October of last year, so it's been slightly over a year for an update. I think going forward, we're going to try to pick up the cadence a little bit, at least biannually, maybe quarterly. We'll see what works with Commissioner Mellon-Rogova. So I know that it's a full agenda tonight, so I'm not going to go through every slide in here. I believe it's in your packets. There may have been a transcription or something. There might be one page missing, I'm not sure. But if there are any questions, I'll hang out afterward. So I'd like to give a little bit of overview of what happened in the last year. I'll hit the one that Will came to speak on tonight, and then give a summary at the end of our recommendations. So in the last year, our board is now fully seated. We've seen new members, Judah Priest, Burhan Sain, and Bridget Lane join us. So that makes it a lot easier to get a quorum and be more productive. We've been continuing to meet monthly with regular frequency, which was, I think, a welcome change from pandemic era, kind of when I came as the chair. Since the last election, you all have transitioned roles, and Ryan was very helpful early on with his guidance and mentorship, and now we've transitioned to Commissioner Mellon-Rogova, who has also taken an active role in the commission and has been very helpful. We've begun incorporating the guidance of Complete Streets in a lot of our deliberations, which helps provide a larger framework from which to work and to deliberate as these things are in front of us. And in the last year, we reached out to Chief Gross to gather the several years worth of traffic incident reports. And one of our members, Drew DePriest, does a lot of data analysis professionally, has put together a visualization of hotspots in the village. And we could potentially make that more publicly available, but at the very least, it allows us to, at a glance, see when something comes in front of us, compare it against the traffic data and say, is this a really hot spot, or is this maybe not as prevalent, and then what caused that person to bring? That helps kind of prioritize things that come in front of us. We also have a new form that one of our members put together with inspiration from neighboring communities, and we're working with Administrator Entler to see about making that public facing, so that as it stands today, the public don't have a clear mechanism to provide feedback for us, or to get from the council to us to deliberate over and provide feedback. So if we have a central form, then it's no longer everyone can direct that kind of feedback to the website, which will then flow through staff and the council, and then we can be focused on what we deliberate on. And then one other item is Commissioner Merlin Regovan has been working to identify fixed radar signs and mobile radar signs, opportunities to acquire some in order to add that tool to our toolkit, especially a mobile sign would be really helpful if there's an area in town that needs some extra attention for a period of time. The police have been helpful with increased patrols and dummy cars, but something like this could also be very helpful. So I'll let you peruse the rest of this at your leisure. Every item that I summarized at the end, there's some detailed information on the slides. The one I did want to touch on was the one that Will Carpenter presented. I don't know if they've presented the petition already, but they came to one of our meetings with a signed petition from, I believe, nearly 40 residents on the street. I don't know if that's come in front of you all or not. But that combined with coming in person to meet with us and discussing some of the issues at hand, make it clear to us that this is something that is worthy of our attention. He kind of touched on that. There's also a private Montessori school a block away with a lot of children at the beginning of the day and in the evening. So we looked at several mechanisms for how to address this. And in the short term, our recommendation tonight is to paint parking lanes the length of Lathrop, so that when there are cars or not cars parked there, it's still narrow sight lines and can potentially slow traffic. We have studies that back that physical narrowing of the road definitely slows traffic, but even visual, just like inexpensive paint lines down the road would be our starting point here. We're also considering other more extensive measures, such as potentially traffic circles you can see on the slide, or narrowing the entrance to Lathrop from the north side of Roosevelt as you exit that shopping mall to discourage through traffic, and only kind of market for local traffic only. Maybe that'll cut down on people just going all the way up to Harrison to cut over to Des Plaines. I do not need. So again, there's several more in here. Toward the end, I'll mention that one thing that we're kind of reviewing, we've reached out to both the police and fire to get a little bit of feedback, and we'd like to explore the idea of traffic circles throughout the town. It's by no means a proposal this evening, but at some point, we understand that it would need to be something formally evaluated by the engineering firm. So we're trying to gather some data and see if that's something that would be palatable for traffic calming in key areas in the village, but not everywhere. And one thing that could help drive that kind of recommendation from us would be first, identifying that it doesn't have any impediment to emergency vehicles, but then also utilizing the data that we now have at our fingertips to highlight spots where we might want to do something a little more than just a sign or another speed limit sign or something like that. So we have 10 recommendations this evening. I can read them to you, or on Madison crosswalks. The last time we had put a sign in the median there over near Fat Duck. At that time we recommended evaluating the rest of the street. There's definitely the spot where it's painted rainbow colors over on the west side, that we feel that another one could be added in that median. There's a crosswalk through that. And given the success of the other one, it's almost the mirror image with the left turn lane and everything on that side. A lot of repainting recommendations. So we would want to make sure, as an initial course of action, to try to take the signage that's there and say, let's make it more clear, more visible, maybe have additional yellow curb here at Circle and Lexington and Lathrop and Fillmore. But before we take the next step, adding or changing the flow of traffic or anything like that with, let's say, a traffic circle or a stop sign or anything. Troost and Roosevelt, we've recommended a couple times now to allow two-way traffic from the dollar store exit on Troost up to the alley. That would be something for consideration. Elgin, Washington, some signage there for trucks. Circle and Jackson, that is a common request. It comes every few months, traffic at Circle and Jackson. So that's something we'd like to refer to the engineering company and see if they have suggestions as to how to handle that intersection. Again, Randolph Marengo painting, Jackson West Curve over by the community center. There's in the evenings and in the mornings, there's a lot of child drop off and pick up on the north side there, and there's no designated area for that. We did check in with Karen, and she felt that that would be beneficial in addition to our deliberations on the commission, and simply a painted area there. People stop there anyway, and we feel that would add a little bit of safety for the kids coming in and out. And the last two items, I think you've already added cameras, or approved adding cameras to Jackson, and then this last little one, adding the deer crossing sign on Des Plaines south of Walmart. You don't know how much impact it will have, but there's frequently deer hit by car over there, and just a little bit of a warning for drivers may be helpful. And with that, I'll open it for questions, or I'll be here after the meeting as well.
Commissioners, any questions for Chairman Key?
Sure. Yeah, great job. I will tell you, once a year cadence is probably the best I've seen in the last 10 years. So, so you're doing good. That's good. I like this. Of course, we talk about this council and see if we can move forward. But I think the thing that jumps off the page is they're all relatively low cost solutions, or at least a step in the right direction in terms of public safety. So great job. We've got a copy of this. I think we need to talk about it and see. And this has all been vetted with Chief and used your data and corroborated during the meetings. And this is the first step, best path forward, I presume. Is that right?
That is our belief. Yes.
Yeah, great. Good work. Thank you.
And I just want to add that it's all been vetted through research related avenues that are also, you know, the hierarchy of research best practices that we know will work and work well. So not only are we thinking about approaches that are best practices for safety, but also effective ways of, if we're going to spend money, we're going to talk about what is a good idea to move forward. They've also been shown through transportation and safety research to be effective.
Commissioner Maxim.
Yeah, I would like to thank you also for this presentation. It was really great. I agree with Commissioner Nero. They're all, you know, pretty low cost, except the cameras. We've already have those, just have to get them put up. I had no idea that deer were such a problem on Des Plaines.
I did not include the pictures.
It like, does it happen often?
Yeah,
How, like, what are we talking like?
I don't have the total volume, but I've seen enough pictures of the dead deer that it's not uncommon. They kind of cross from one cemetery to the other.
Did not know that.
Yep. The most common, the highest incidence for accidents is that Des Plaines Walmart exit, and that's where the deer are. I mean, I think it's car versus car, but it's also
deer versus car.
Chairman King, thank you for your presentation.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, next item is a presentation from Christopher Berg Engineering. As Jim Bailey will set up his equipment.
That's not the presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity to present tonight. Very excited about our 3-year infrastructure plan, which will cover calendar years 2024, 2025, and 2026. So just a quick little background here. Back in 2018, we did a 5-year plan, which ended in 2022. 2023, we did a stopgap single-year plan, and our approach moving forward will be to do 3-year infrastructure plans. The logic on that is after 5 years, we kind of got off of that track because, namely because of COVID. So there was a lot of financial constraints in that time frame, but things change. The infrastructure changes, needs of the village change. So 3 years we feel like is a appropriate time frame to revisit and bring a infrastructure plan to the board. So as with all of our other infrastructure plans, we started with doing an assessment, looking in the mirror, seeing what the issues are, identifying those, putting things together, and then picking what we would call the worst or highest priority issues. So starting with the roadway assessment, we did a visual assessment, consists of driving through all those streets, looking for cracks, pavement deterioration, also rideability. You know, as you drive around, you feel the bumps. Things like that. So we did a very simple assessment and labeled everything as either good, which is shown as green here, average, light green, fair, which is yellow, and then poor, which would be orange. So we did that for the north side of town, as shown here, and then same thing for the south side. What you'll notice is there's also some red lines with an S on it. Those would indicate areas where per our sewer evaluation study, those are spots where we'd like to add a separate storm sewer. Also, you'll see on there, there's some blue W's with a line. Those are areas where we're looking to add a proposed water main. And I'll elaborate on the proposed water main. There are existing water mains there, but we'd like to upsize those water mains. Most of those are 4-inch. So when the town was built, 4-inch was kind of the normal size or the most common size. Now, the most common size or the minimum size that you would install would be an 8-inch diameter water main. So that provides more fire flow, better pressure when you're taking a shower, and allows for more water to get in and out, so higher water quality. So that's what we did with the roadways. Then we did the same thing with the alleys. The alleys was a little bit simpler because there was not as much to look at as far as utilities, but we did assess them. And what you'll notice here, there's a lot of greens. And Village has been doing a really good job of keeping up the infrastructure in the alleys. Out of the 117 alleys, 99 of them have been reconstructed over the last 20 plus years. And when we reconstruct these alleys, we take them from what used to be a typical regular crown where the water would pool along the garages or along the right-of-way, and we change it to an inverted crown, so the water goes to the middle of the alley and then flows out either to the street or into the nearest catch basin. So I'm sure most people here have had a reconstructed alley, and hopefully they're enjoying them. For the few that haven't, they're on the list. So you'll see here we did the same thing for the south side of town.
a handful more of yellow or poor ones, which we'll be addressing in the near future. And I'd also like to point out on this map and on the one prior, we have the red boxes. Those are the areas that are eligible for CDBG funding, which is Cook County's Community Development Block Grant. Okay, so we put all that information together, and it's important to note the CDBG is something that we try to apply for funding for, and so we'll try to do some of the alleys or sewer or water main in those locations.
So after putting all those inputs in, and I forgot to mention, we worked with Commissioner Mellon Rogovan and the village administrator and public works director to kind of pick and choose what our highest priorities were. And then obviously we had to vet that with the finance director to make sure that she had enough money to pay for all this. Some favorite conversation of the year, right, Tish? So what we're proposing here is a long list of projects, and I'll run through these somewhat quickly, but keep the exhibits up here so you can see where they're at. So the first project we have, and for the board members, I'm working off of the table here, I'm just going to go down from top to bottom, is the green alley improvements, which are on the 8 and 900 block of Circle Marengo. So that is reconstructing them with a brick ribbon down the middle. We are getting MWRD to give us some funding assistance. They're providing $494,000 towards the project. The overall project cost is $847,000, and then the balance come out of the VIP fund. The second project we have on the list is the 2024 street program, which is 4 and 500 blocks of Elgin. We're looking to do the water main there and do some resurfacing. So that's money's coming out of the water fund, $470,000, and $370,000 out of MFT. The next project that I have is the IEPA lead service replacement project. I'm very excited about this because the village was fortunate to get $2.6 million in principal forgiveness money from the IEPA. So principal forgiveness is IEPA's version of grant money. So it's money that the village won't have to pay back. So this area kind of shaded in blue between Circle and Harlem, Harrison down to 13th Street, we're targeting replacing all of the existing lead services there with new copper services. We're not going to be able to do all of them in that area, but we're going to try to get as many as we can with the money that we have at our disposal. Next project I have is the commuter bike facilities. This is a holdover from previous year that's putting a bike shelter at the CTA Blue Line stop off of Van Buren, and then also a facility bike racks over at Harrison and Harlem. So that'll be installed this spring. Next project on the list is Fillmore Street brick road repair. So this is Fillmore between Beloit and Hannah. You can see in red with the little skip dashes through there. Anybody who's driven down there knows that it's kind of bumpy. So the intent here is just to do a little Band-Aid, take out some of the worst spots, fill in some stone, regrade, and put the same bricks back in. So just a little patch to buy some time until full replacement is done. So for that job, we have estimated about $36,000 to address the repairs there. Moving along, we also have the Van Buren Street multi-use path. That is along Van Buren from Madison down south to where it makes the turn. Or along the Altenheim is probably a better description. We also have the 2024 sidewalk program, $58,000 in that. We have Jackson Water Reservoir repairs. So as the council may know, we are currently doing a structural assessment of the reservoir to look at that and coming back to the board in the near future with some recommendations. So this is just a placeholder at this time for something that will be coming down the road. Next, I have the Madison Street. Go back to the list here. Madison Street revitalization, so $300,000 in sprucing up Madison Street, painting the light poles, replacing the benches, the bike racks, and other various improvements to the area. And last but not least, on the 2024 calendar year, we have the Roosevelt Road Island modification. So that's actually the removal of the existing island on Roosevelt between
I'm sorry, at Hannah, right, Sal? And so that's a island that's been hit numerous times, unfortunately. And every time it gets hit, the village incurs costs to repair that. So the island itself will remain, the curb will remain, but we're going to take out all the landscaping and just pave that middle section. We could either paint it with the pavers, or we could make it concrete. And so those are the options that will come back to the board in the near future. We can bid both, and then you can select at your pleasure. Okay, so that's all of 2024. Are there any questions on 24? If not, I'll run through 25 and 26 real quickly. Hearing no questions, I'll keep going. Okay, so, oh, sorry.
Don't keep going.
Okay, thank you. So 2025, a little bit more pared down again, this because it's 2 years out instead of this next year. We have a street program, and the locations are shown on the map. Here in orange, so we have Monroe, Ferdinand, and Marengo. Those are beginning water main and then resurfacing as well. So the costs are listed in there. That's a $1.3 million project. 2025, we have one alley that we are planning on doing. That's the 1100 block of Lathrop Ferdinand. And we are going to continue to stay in the cadence and repertoire of doing an annual sidewalk program. So we have the 2025 sidewalk program listed. And then moving on to 2026, we'll also have a street program for that. So you'll see here, we have Adams from Jackson to Des Plaines. We have the section of Burkhart just north of Madison Street. We will also be getting and utilizing, sorry, we've already gotten, but we haven't utilized yet, the STP funds for Jackson Boulevard. So it's from Des Plaines to Harlem. So all of those projects are in 2026. So I'll come over here to the exhibit here, and 2024 we have about $5.8 million worth of work, 2025 1.6, and 2026 $3.2 million of total infrastructure improvements in this. And so our goal here is to inform the board of what we are hoping you guys would accept, and if it is acceptable, we would just seek direction to proceed, at which time we will continue to submit proposals for each of the projects. And it's important to note each project will come to the board. You'll have the opportunity to look at the design proposal, look at it again before it's ordered, and so forth. So with that, I will cede to the mayor and to the board for any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Jim? Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
The commissioners, next item is an ordinance terminating designation. Harlem Avenue redevelopment project. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxon. Is there a second?
Nero.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rhoden.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-58-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, Commissioners, next item is ordinance approving tax levy for the village for the fiscal year beginning April 30, 2024. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxon. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon. Discussion. If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rhoden.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-59-23.
Commissioners, next item is a resolution directing the county clerk to calculate separate limited rates for the tax levy for the 2023 tax levy year. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second?
Nero second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim. Aye. Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Govin.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-111-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is ordinance. An ordinance, amending village code to require paid leave for eligible employees. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon Govin. Discussion? If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim. Aye. Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Govin.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-60-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance approving authorized variations to allow construction of a single-family residence at 7713 Wilcox. Is there a motion?
Nero make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxim. Discussion? Commissioner Vogt.
I just wanted to say that I am a little disappointed in the lack of oversight and that we find ourselves in this position. Retroactively approving something. Mistakes happen. And I find the oversight for Wilcox somewhat plausible. And giving the benefit of the doubt, I have to agree with the ordinance that it's in the best interest of the village to approve this, but I hate to sound like a broken record, but I do hope that going forward, we'll make a better effort to provide consistent oversight. We need to be clear and fair in our enforcement, not just in building codes, but all of our local ordinances, and they exist for a reason. Every person that lives, works, and does business in the village should expect to be treated equally and know that rules apply consistently across the board. That doesn't mean we need to be overly punitive, but there's plenty of space to be consistent and thorough and reasonable. And I hope as we're modernizing our code, we also are identify things that aren't working so that we can change them, modernize them, so that we are not ignoring some things that we think are maybe obsolete. And we're actually doing our best to provide everyone with sensible, clear outlines and that we're enforcing them consistently.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. Any other comments or
Yes, sir.
hold on, Commissioner Maxim?
Okay, so, I know that I was at the PZC meeting, as was Commissioner Vogt and as was Commissioner Nero. And I also know, that Commissioner Vogt's husband recorded the meeting and put it up online, on the advocacy group so everyone can see it. So it's out there if anyone's interested in seeing the meeting. I agree that going forward, it's good that we make sure that things are being enforced uniformly. Unlike Commissioner Vogt, who says, I hope going forward this will happen, I think Director Glinke made it really clear at that PCC meeting that at least 3 of us were at, that something has been put in place now, so that it used to be just commercial projects that went through our consultants, but now residential of this nature will as well. So it sounds to me like it isn't just a, hope that this is going to change, but that the change has already been put in place. And I believe I don't just hope that going forward, mistakes like this won't happen again. I think, we're here. And the best thing to do is to approve these retroactively and move forward and do better. So, that's my 2 cents on this. Thank you.
Commissioner Nero, it's a good 2 cents. Yes, sir. Well, I was going to say some of that, but hey, listen, we are human beings, and it is so frustrating to get in here at these council meetings, and it's like I hear a message or a voice from certain folks about people make mistakes, right? People make mistakes, and controls were put in place, publicly communicated those controls, and yet we want to drag the department out into the street and throw rocks at it. It's wrong. It's wrong. This is the best interest of Forest Park. There's numerous 25-foot lots in Forest Park right now. And tell me a new home going up in Forest Park is not going to be better for your property value. A simple mistake, administrative mistake, ownership was taken, controls were put in place, and we move forward. We move forward as a village together, not divided, not separated. We don't beat each other up. We recognize we made a mistake, controls put in place, and we move forward. To err is human. To take ownership of that, right? That's leadership. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Any further comment, reaction? If not, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rogova. Aye. Commissioner Vogt. Aye. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-61-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance approving all the resolutions to construction. 38. Is there a motion?
Nero will make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I will second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxham. Discussion. Commissioner Vogt.
We have another oversight, and I just wanted to clear something up. One question is, does the same person own 838 and 836? It does not.
Yeah.
The same person out there. Because I have a few questions for this one. It's a little bit different situation than Wilcox. Because though these are two 25 by 125 foot lots, they are next to each other, which would be a 50-foot lot owned by the same person. And it's been vacant for decades. Yeah. Because then part of my confusion there would be, as the code's written, this is 100% fits the bill. I mean, it's a 50-foot lot. So choosing to do two non-conforming lots, those should have pretty clearly gone to the planning and zoning to ask for the variance, which we didn't do when we find ourselves here. But one thing that sticks out with this is our lack, I believe, because I haven't found it in our code, is for a stormwater ordinance or stormwater management ordinance. I think it's only for like larger projects or which is concerning to me, just because it says it should not unduly increase the danger of flood or fire. And the addition of any non-pervious surface increases the amount of excess stormwater runoff. So it's one issue that I have with this, and I don't know why we weren't able to catch this, is the extensive lot coverage, taking a vacant lot from completely permeable to excessively non-pervious surface. So I guess I just wanted to make a point that I hope while we're updating the code, we're thinking about adding something for stormwater management, capture, mitigation. I have a couple examples from Chicago that I could send if you'd like to talk about them. But I just wanted to make that point. It's a little concerning. I know there's still one lot that's empty. I don't know what's happening with that. But just the level of lot coverage where we're going to now see an excessive amount of water running off into our sewer system is concerning.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. Any other comment? Commissioner Mellon, go.
To add to the comments on both lots, I just want to say, having been to the training that was offered to the committee, planning and zoning committee volunteers, the commission members, and myself, several people have mentioned the new process for reorganizing or looking at the new zoning process that we're in the process of updating our zoning codes. And I was very impressed with the thoroughness, and at least at this point, it's still in process, but I do think, at least from someone who's relatively new to the zoning code process, I think they're really going through it with a fine-tooth comb and understanding the environment that Forest Park is in, but asking all the right questions and looking at how our zoning code could meet our needs going forward and asking all the right questions. So, and I think Steve and Muse are working together to do that with the zoning, planning and zoning committee, and the folks they're working with are really not starting from the beginning, but really blowing it all out and saying, how can we make sure that we're covering all the bases, including the questions that we're raising today. So I was very impressed by that. I think it bears saying here.
Thank you, Commissioner Mellon. Anything else? Okay, Madam Clerk, can you call the vote?
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragobin.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Abstain.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-62-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional engineering services proposal for phase 2 design of the Burke Engineering for Roosevelt Road Landscape Island Removal Project. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Melvin. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion?
I just want to mention that just yesterday, a resident mentioned to me in a conversation that this particular island causes visual disruption to drivers pulling in and out onto Roosevelt Road, and most times of the year. So this is actually going to impact and improve safety and reduce accidents for Forest Park drivers. So, and I will tell you when I had this conversation in just a minute. But yes, this is a very timely project that we're considering, and I think it's very important.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further questions?
Sure.
Commissioner, Nero.
Euro, yeah. This one, is this, help me out here, just, so the proposal, to do the engineering phase to it with Burke is, so whether we do one or we do 5 of them, we could just do the engineering, because the planter box, the planter box, the planter box, if we had to do the removal of more than one, then could we utilize the same drawings, or is it a different story? Because we're only talking about one here, right?
Yeah, but it's the engineering is going, I mean, it's ultimately going to save us money because, the placement of this planter box or where it's located, drivers on Roosevelt Road keep hitting it.
No, I got that part. I
Okay.
got that part. I'm just wondering if we're removing one. I think there's what, 4 on Roosevelt,
Yeah,
something like that. So
that's
yep,
true.
eventually maybe we start hitting another one. And so I'm just wondering if the engineering piece to that with Berg is transferable to these other planter boxes.
Jim,
Don't
you're
know.
here. Go ahead.
My friends, would you?
Well, hold a second. Jim, you can go.
Sorry, Jim.
So, thank you, Commissioner. So the bulk of the effort is, going through permitting at IDOT, in the review there. So if you want to add more, happy to do that. It's not a huge effort to do, add it to our project. Obviously, the cost of construction or destruction, if you will, would increase significantly. Not so much the design costs, it's not a huge effort to add that on our end. But if you were to do one now and then do another one later, we would need to restart the permitting process. So you'd have to kind of do it all over again.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Commissioners, any further questions? No. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxa,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Hi.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-112-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving the 2024 fair transit service provider agreement between Suburban Bus Division of the Regional Transportation Authority. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxim. Discussion. Okay, there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxa,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragoven,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-113-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a vehicle parking license agreement with Curry Motors. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon. Discussion. Commissioner Vogt.
The first thing is super quick, but the licensing agreement does list the parking lot is east of Des Plaines and north of Jackson, I think. Okay. And then, I was just curious about, there isn't anything in the actual lease terms about the space or the actual parameters around, the portion of the lot that they're renting. The only thing that it said was in, the proposal letter to the mayor, a maximum of 300 spaces. And that's sort of incongruent with, I think, the proposed area. I know they can fit 300 cars, even if it's not 300 spaces, but I didn't know if we needed to have a better either border indicated on the map or an indication of number of vehicles or something.
Yeah, when we met on site with ownership, they specifically asked for parking for 300 cars, not 300 spaces, because as we discussed, I believe there's roughly 380 spaces there. I believe the space that was allocated for Curry was furthest west, the largest dimension from north to south, and provided ample cars to be parked in the drive aisle as well. So that will leave approximately 185 public spots still available. Now daily, I've been going over there 2-3 times a week. Daily, there's rarely more than 50 cars. So we have the capacity to increase by another 150 cars if needed. But I think that this is helping us offset the revenue losses that we've seen since probably in the last 4 years, the decreased ridership.
Yep.
You had a schematic, right, of where the fencing would go.
I did, and it was approximate. We, in the interest of, partnering with Curry, we figured the furthest west would allow them to exploit about 400 linear feet of existing 6-foot iron fence. And we do reserve the option. This was discussed on site. We can determine material, we can determine the aesthetics, we can determine screening from the public to make sure that, it does look acceptable and not like a used car lot.
And this took into account the concerns of the neighbors to the west of the.
Nobody has expressed any concerns. I mean, obviously now that it's become more public, I think we have the ability to address those things in the design phase.
Sure.
So that, on a commercial, right now, existing fences are limited to 6 feet. Now, in commercial areas, I have the discretion to go up to 8 feet. So I think higher is probably better in this case, as long as we have the proper screening from top of the fence down. Obviously, we want to prevent intrusion. They're incorporating video surveillance. I believe we have some interest in putting a PZT, which is a rotating camera there, which will allow us to do surveillance to the other side of the gate line, as well as parking there. And remember that we also do Thursday nights, some of the homeless outreach. That's something that having a camera and another set of eyes on, that's probably a good idea.
And if we found something was missing from everything, like I don't know what that would be. We know that Curry's a fairly easy business to work with, right? And we could probably make modifications if we felt like anything needed to be modified.
Just reviewing the lease agreement, I think we have the ability to sort of set the pace and make the demands that meet the village's aesthetic desires and obviously meet the same features that potentially can create an impact on our police service.
I just have like
Go ahead.
two short questions. And I think this is a great use of the lot.
Just in case it's on.
Considering how drastically the revenue has fallen off. And I've driven over there several times over the last couple of months to just see how it's being utilized. And I'm totally correct. I'm just had a couple of questions about the agreement, and it does look like we have plenty of space to sort of control communication and terms. I am curious though, the initial proposal to the mayor had $7,500 a month for the first 3 years, and then that price would adjust if they took the option to request renewal for another 3 years. And nothing about that is in the lease agreement, and I don't know if that needs to be, or are we concerned about it just immediately going month to month? Should we put a requirement in that says we have to renew before or discuss, renewal before the termination of the 3 years?
That's not necessary.
We'll just,
3-year term to finish up. If it flips to month, that'll give the parties ample opportunity to renegotiate and move on.
and then it'll just stay at the existing fee.
Correct.
It's not going to what they
Correct,
had
but
said
once-
they would
once you
go
go
to.
Month to month, it's much easier to decide if the village decides, well, we don't want to be in this agreement anymore. You just give them a 30-day kick-out letter and then you're done.
Okay, and then the last one, I know the mayor and I talked about this, staging for St. Patrick's Day. There was mention about additional CTA lot could potentially be used? Like, are we comfortable that we are able to sort of accommodate that, losing half the lot?
Yes,
We have a,
there's more CTA property to the west, and the chamber is fairly flexible in terms of what they can do. So there's a long corridor that runs parallel to the tracks, and it goes west to the south.
Yeah.
Of the green space.
we
That could-
talked to them, we're okay with that.
yes.
Thanks.
Commissioner Maxon.
I'll be really brief. This project actually makes me really happy. It's a great way to help one of our businesses in town while at the same time, finding a way to offset some of the losses from the much lower ridership that we have on the CTA. And I think it's a really great solution that we've come across. And I was concerned about still having space for the outreach that we do sort of in that location for the unhoused, but Director Blinky assured me that there will still be room for that. And I just want to share my support for this. Thank you.
All right. I think there's anything. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-63-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving pay request for the 2023 sidewalk improvements from Nardini Construction Company Incorporated. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Flynn. Is there a second?
No, second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Flynn. Discussion? There's no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Aye.
This is resolution R-114-23.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing the execution of pay request number 8 for the 2023 water main project to Uno Construction. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Govan. Is there a second?
No, second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? Okay, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-115-23.
Commissioners, next item is resolution approving pay request number 2 for the 2023 Wilcoxon Ferdinand Water Fuel Tax Reservice improvements to A-Lamp Contractors Incorporated. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon. Is there a second?
No, second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion. Okay, there's no discussion.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-116-23.
Commissioners, next item is a motion to approve a request from the Forest Park Parks Alliance to co-sponsor the Paint the Bridge project with the Village of Forest Park. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxim. Discussion. Commissioner Maxim.
I am super excited about this project. When it was done last time, I forget how many years ago that was exactly. My family participated in it. We bought a square and painted it, and it was honestly Forest Park has so many great activities that are just community building and amazing. But this was by far one of my favorite experiences at Forest Park. It was just the community came together and did something really beautiful, and it obviously needs to be redone because there's some rust back on it again. But I enthusiastically am in support of this project.
Thank you, Commissioner Maxim. Sure. Commissioner Nero.
Yeah, love it. Great. Is there a way to do it without having public works doing the prime and the prep work and the people painting it, just go out there, prime the little area? I don't know, maybe. Just a thought.
We can certainly explore that. Rachel, you want
So when we did this, when I was commissioner, part of the process was that it needed to be primed and prepped properly in order for the paint to stay on. I know that Director Stella has gotten a very, 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 very reasonable price when it comes to the power washing of the bridge. And then as far as the paint is concerned, you know, our public works guys did it in the past. It's something that, you know, he budgets for, and we're going to work with the Forest Park Arts Alliance as far as painting, the actual getting the paints, and to make the day as easy and as enjoyable as possible, because the priming process has to take place before the actual painting. So I think the easiest process, unfortunately, is to use Public Works to have that priming done, and then you know, if they do it similar to the way that we did it in the past, it can be an all-day project to actually do the painting. So for the village to assist with getting the bridge prepped for that, we won't have to do the fence line this year. So that was something that was done the first time around. We had painted all the rust spots on the fence, so that won't have to be done. We'll just have to prime everything that already has paint on it, and then that would be after it was power washed.
Okay, and then considerations for, it's been a minute since we did it last time, and I don't remember really, but you're gonna have a lot of kids and traffic and run around and painting. Do we give consideration to traffic control? I don't know.
Absolutely. So we do shut down the bridge for that day. We close it off. I think usually it's at Harrison Street and then at Lemur, and actually probably more so at Circle and Jackson for that day, so that the open space, people are going up and down the bridge. We've got, you know, we'll have police officers over there in the park district, and then Lemur Park down at the bottom of the bridge are usually used as staging areas for bathrooms and paint pickup, and you know, so that we're doing a safe event and everybody can enjoy it without necessarily having to watch for cars going up and down the bridge.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it was last done in 2016, if that gives you any indication.
Actually, the idea starts in 2016, the actual engine was 2017. And that was the birth of the Arts Alliance.
Okay. The letter says that originally painted in 2016. No, that's okay. You're the
Gonna get wild in here.
You're the experts, not me. I was just quoting the letter, but 2016, 2017, you say tomato, I say tomato.
All right.
Let's go paint a bridge. We're all good.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxa?
Aye.
Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rogova?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt?
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. Commissioner, next item is a motion to approve a banner request from Pilgrim Congregational Church. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon-Rogova. Discussion. Okay, if there's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxa?
Aye.
Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rogova?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt?
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. Commissioners, next item is a motion to approve a raffle permit request from the Oak Park Wood Mills. Is there a motion?
You're
make-
Go.
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second?
Nero, a second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxa?
Aye.
Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Rogova?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt?
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. All right, and then last item on new business is a motion to approve ratification of the mayor's signature senior trip contract. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon. Is there a second?
Nero second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. There's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon-Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. All right, Commissioners, that concludes our new business for tonight. We are at Administrator's Report.
I will make this quick. I just wanted to remind everybody that the village should generously turn off the parking meters on Madison Street and Roosevelt Road to allow our residents and visitors to town to partake in purchasing Christmas gifts, hopefully, or bringing family to dinner during the holidays. Holiday overnight parking will be suspended starting December 23rd through January 2nd as well. So if you have guests coming in, you do not need to call your cars in during those periods of time. But I do want to remind you that if we get snow, hopefully we won't get too much snow, that the 2-inch snow parking ban will still be in place. So you'll still need to make sure that you park opposite the streetlights. And if that goes into effect, Village Hall office hours for the holidays, the next 2 Fridays, we will be closing at 2 p.m. Thanks to the mayor, and we will be closed on the holidays of December 25th as well as New Year's Day, January 1st. And I just want to wish everybody a very happy holiday, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate in the month of December. And I'm looking forward to some very new and exciting projects in 2024. And to the council, wish everybody a happy new year as well.
Thank you, Rachel. Commissioner Maxim.
Yeah, I just have one thing. For the second time now, I've received a communication from a resident who is so struck by John Cunningham and Rob Saul and the work they've done to beautify the community. This time with the lights that are amazing up and down Beloit and the display outside Edsway. And she really is asking me, how can we publicly recognize them? So we did it in the last meeting, and I know Commissioner Nero did too, and I know the newspaper did a great story about it. But if there's some kind of, award that we as a council could give to them, maybe offline we can talk about that, because again, I really appreciate the work that they did. And that's all I have, and happy holidays and happy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero.
Yes, sir. Just a reminder, neighborhood watch meeting is tomorrow night, right down here at 7 p.m. We're going to be talking about businesses, home security, crime trends, safety measures, if incidents occur, what you can do, and learn how you can help to solve cases. So very exciting. Figured I would reiterate that. And then lastly, we'll keep it short. Just how about Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. It's been a great year. A lot of hard work by not only our department heads, but our elected officials. And so thank you. And thank you for keeping Forest Park first. And with that, Mayor, I'll turn it.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon-Govan.
Thank you. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who attended the 3 Operation Rising Spirit events that were held in the community since we last met. They were so community members came to Duffy's, the American Legion, and the Forest Park Library, and community members made cards, either handmade cards or wrote cards to veterans in senior care homes across the state, and organizations and groups, including the Historical Society of Forest Park, Boy Scouts, the Dive Bar Letter Writers, the Senior Circle at the Forest Park Public Library, and of course our veterans of the American Legion participated. And all total, we put together 257 cards and letters for veterans. So and we had 50 participants, many of whom are here today. So thank you very much. And they're well on their way to the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs to be distributed to our veterans across the state. And wanted to also thank Duffy's, Team Blonde, Brown Cow, Living Fresh, many Forest Park businesses who participated in making the event a success. So I also wanted to mention that on Forest Park Town Hall, a group of residents brought to my awareness that and worked with Sal and the folks in Public Works to look at the fact that Walmart and Jewel carts are making their way into Forest Park. So we spent, Sal and the guys spent some time analyzing how many carts are ending up in areas in Forest Park, because we got pictures on Forest Park Town Hall, and so we analyzed how many carts, and 75% of carts are from Walmart and 25% are from Jewel, and figured out that our Public Works team returns carts to Walmart and Jewel, 28 carts to Walmart a week, and the rest to Jewel. And so I went to Walmart today, and I talked to the store manager, and I told her that we are returning 1,400 carts a year at the grand old total of $291,000 a year. That's what it costs Walmart. And I said, we will not be providing free service, and that we needed to work this out so that our folks at Public Works needed to focus on the village. So we're going to start figuring out how Walmart and Forest Park Public Works can work together. They were very nice about it. And we're going to keep our town beautiful and help Walmart get their carts where they need to be. So congratulations, everybody, on working together to serve our businesses and keep our community clean. But it was Gerard outside of Edsway who helped me load a cart in my car to take to Walmart that told me about the Hannah Island and how it couldn't make turns onto Roosevelt. So just yesterday. So we are answering Gerard's, a Forest Park resident's concern, by making sure that we're going to make that an easier place to pull out onto Roosevelt. Anyway, thank you. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Mellon. Commissioner Volk.
Thanks. I usually do a big year-end summary of everything that has been accomplished as it relates to public property and our community. But as my holiday gift to all of you, I will refrain from the full recap and just share a few items to know very quickly. The Recreation Board has been doing wonderful things and really hit their stride this year as they've transitioned away from pocket park oversight towards a more expansive goal, celebrating and caring for our shared outdoor and recreational spaces and community engagement. So I want to thank all of our board volunteers for their time and hard work. We hosted 2 very well-attended community cleanup events, a dog park grand reopening, hosted a lovely Arbor Day celebration of Pumpkin Smash that composted 1.6 tons of pumpkins. And we continue to monitor the Village Dog Park and Veterans Park and Circle. And they're also currently working on their calendar of events for 2024. We had a couple of resignations in the past few months due to folks moving out of town. So I want to invite residents who are interested in being a part of a very fun board that is also dedicated to engaging residents and caring for our shared spaces to please apply to the mayor's office Applications online, Village Hall, or you can email me. And then speaking of the rec board, I was saddened to hear of the passing of Jerry Webster last month. Jerry was a longtime devoted resident of Forest Park. He was an active observer of his local government, which led him to join the rec board. And when interviewed by the Forest Park Review about his appointment, he said, "It's our government, they should respond to our needs, and this I feel is a little bit that I can do." He said, "Instead of sitting on the sidelines carping, I wanted to be in there trying to make a difference." So thank you, Mr. Webster, for your work to make a difference in our community, and my deepest condolences to his family and friends. And then lastly, I want to acknowledge a resident, an elementary school student here in Forest Park. Her name is Grace Meza, and she is 11 years old. A while back, a resident noticed Grace walking along Beloit, picking up litter along the parkway. He thought it was wonderful to see a young person taking an active role in caring for their community, and thought she deserved some recognition, and I could not agree more. And I would like to say thank you to Grace. She will have a student spotlight section in the upcoming village newsletter, but I wanted to also thank her here at our final council meeting of the year. She enjoys cleaning up her community, volunteering at animal shelters, and participating in food drives. Grace not only helps to keep Forest Park beautiful, but she is an inspiration to others. Well done, Grace. And with that, I hope everyone is very happy, safe, healthy holiday and New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner Bo. All right, commissioners, a lot's happened in December. Since the last time we met, we of course had our holiday review that was hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. And there's participation from a number of staff, police, fire, public works, and it was very successful. There were a lot of happy kids. Kids were especially happy, of course, to see Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and of course, we appreciate the Forest Park National Bank for opening up their space so that the kids could talk to Santa. The following week, we had the Mayor's Toy Drive. It was hugely successful. We appreciate the hardworking staff, Karen Gillespie and her team, as well as other staff, the firefighters brought gifts. Some of the police department was there. Cross section of the town. It was hosted by Shannon. So the time was had by all. And of course, we did the toy drive about an hour after the menorah that's located at Constitution Court. And we had with us from Oak Park Rabbi Yitzhak Bergstein and his family to teach us about the tradition behind the menorah and some cultural aspects of this house. So I just want to close out the meeting. We're not going to have a big holiday party in the village. We wanted to save money this year as well as time. We'll have potluck, and we usually give out service awards. And so I want to read the names of the employees whose longevity is being recognized. At 5 years of service, we have a number of police officers: Brendan Riley, Casey Doherty, Maribel Fuentes, now the police officer Sandy Nutley, Officer Ben Marty, Officer Alberta Cotan, Daisy Riglos, Officer Daisy Riglos, Officer Zach Elvis, Detective Joe Schick. At 10 years of service, we have Frank Orozco. We have Police Officer Sergeant Adam Stasnopoulos, Sergeant Jack Riley, Officer Francis Lane. At 15 years of service, we have Sergeant Lauren Madison. We have Paul Richards from the fire department. We have Lieutenant Robert Reed from BJ Reed. Also from the police department, we have Charles Everett and Deputy Chief Chris Chapman at 15 years. At 20 years, we have Andrew Weber. We have George Prescott, Officer Michael O'Connor. And at 25 years, we have Nick Petrovic and Scott Fry. Excuse me. Today I was walking, I'll be quick. Today I was walking to the post office and I saw a gentleman across the street and I waved. I didn't know him. But he crossed the street and caught up with me and came up and said, "Are you the mayor?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "I want to just tell you something. I moved here from River Forest 3 years ago and absolutely love Forest Park. You all have the best services in this village." So I just say that to compliment the staff We have a wide range of services. We do another really small group of very dedicated employees. Earlier, someone disparaged one of our long-serving employees. Talked about what if this was the private sector. It's not the private sector. First of all, this is the public sector, and we're a small village of 14,000 people. So the individual who was singled out is one of the most dedicated public servants we have in this village. He served in a number of leadership capacities. He's our building director. But in addition to serving as building director, he plays a key role in enforcement security matters. Cameras over the last years. The director has taken. He spends a lot of time police departments, works well with police departments, he works well with fire departments. The institutional knowledge that a lot of our troops have is really important in village's survival. In particular, the institutional knowledge that Steve Glinky has is really important. Sometimes Glinky drives me crazy. Sometimes Glinky doesn't agree that I'm right. That's fine because my wife also sometimes doesn't. Right. And guess what? I'm not always right. And neither is anybody who says this. Right? But in all seriousness, I want to have the backs of our department heads. And we do a lot. It's for a while. There was a time when we had flooding here, and we had department heads as well as our village administrator hooking up hoses to pump the water in Chicago. We're not only we don't give funds, but with the resources. So I'm going to close there, but I just want to say to the staff, I appreciate what you do. We don't get to tell you all the time, but we do appreciate it. I haven't said that, I will take a motion to adjourn the closed session.
Yes, sir. Nero will make that motion.
Hold on a second, sorry.
Nope.
Pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/C1 to consider litigation.
Nero make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, it's been motioned by Nero. It's been seconded by Maxwell. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim.
Aye.
Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Bellamy-Govan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt. Mayor Hoskin.
All right, we're going to adjourn into closed session. We will not return into open session. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, any other holidays you celebrate. Happy New Year, everybody.